at all, had the meetings changed in tone? Because I think we saw a lot of news coverage of very spirited Ferguson Commission meetings when they first got started. Have they changed, or did they even need to change, in your opinion?
They have changed, absolutely so. And it's important for people to know that the commission is here to serve the community. And when we learned what they anticipated from our work and how those meetings would run, then we were happy to change the structure to provide citizens the opportunity that they needed to bring voice to their concerns and issues, because we can't do this work without them. But I like to say that even with all of the spirited reporting, that all of the really dramatic activity that was shared, we got a lot of good work done during those first 3 meetings. And over the course of a 5-hour meeting, that was about 22 minutes of disruption. So even with all of that going on, significant work was accomplished.
So where are we headed? What are the goals? What's on the agenda as we start the new year?
I mean, we continue to tackle the issues that the community has asked us to address. If it's the racial profiling, community policing, the municipal reforms, we're going to continue to listen to what the community wants. And to kind of go back to what Felicia was saying, those disruptions that did occur, it got a lot of attention, but it was needed, and it was healthy disruption. It was disruption of people wanting their voices to be heard, and this commission was like a safe space for that. It was a place where folks can come and share and express the same emotions and be able to get them out and vent them to people who are going to be working on these issues, so we can know the best way to how to go about the direction of what the community wants the commission to go, because they're telling us where to go. When we have these breakout sessions and we talk about different issues that they wanted us to talk about, they're leading all this. So whatever direction they want us to head in, we're listening to them, and we needed that disruption.
So you weren't frustrated or disheartened or anything of that nature if things weren't exactly
No, I mean,
polite?
You got to make, and what the young people have been doing, you got to make the comfortable people feel uncomfortable. We needed some of the people even on the commission that probably haven't been out at the protests or understood what was going on the ground clearly with the young people. I think when they brought that to some of the meetings, it was needed. It needed to happen so they can understand why the young people are upset. What do they want to change? What is it that they want to see happen? Because it's not just yelling that we want. We really want some systematic changes happen.
So what do you want to see from the legislature?
Yeah, so I'd just like to speak just for a second about what we were just talking about.
Yeah, sure.
You know, I think it was just so real and so honest.
Were you uncomfortable?
Not at all. It was, I trusted it. I kind of don't trust it when it's too quiet. And I think what I heard from that conversation, it didn't matter who approached the microphone. It didn't matter if you were a young protester. It didn't matter if you were a business owner that had just lost your business. Everyone was saying the exact same thing. They were saying, you don't know me, I don't know if you care about me, and you haven't called to check on me. And I thought if you really listen to not exactly how they were delivering the message, but the message, it really kind of anchored us in this real sense of people are in pain. People need to know that somebody knows about them and cares about them. And I think what Rasheen just said, it just kind of brought us to a point where we can sit there and listen. So it was hard to listen to because of the pain, but it was honest, it was real, and that was important for us.
I guess people probably feel like they hadn't been listened to long before there was a commission. So then they trust you to carry their message. Do you feel like you're going to be able to carry it to a place of power that can have some sort of impact on the things they're concerned about?
Well, I think we're very committed to it, and I think that is, our meetings are typically scheduled for about 3 hours. I don't think we've had one less than 5. They run somewhere between 5 and 7 hours. We're staying there till the last person is there, and I know that every one of us are doing an enormous amount of homework every night, reading the issues, trying to keep up with the research. And we have a report, clearly, that has to be written and delivered to the governor by the 15th, but we're trying to put a spotlight on issues right now and move them forward. So there is no disagreement among the commission of what our final assignment is, but there is no disagreement that where we can make a kind of lean in on it and move something forward, that is what we're going to do.
And there's been some conversation tonight about the push for municipal court reform. We believe that that is important. If you remove the incentives for municipalities to generate revenue in the traffic stops and even in pedestrian stops, we're concerned with those as well, which led to the incident of August 9th and Michael Brown being killed. But if you remove that incentive and you provide a different opportunity for the community to engage with police and government. So we think that that's a very important issue. It will help police officers do the job that they're trained to do and that we need them to do. So when you've got policing as a function of revenue generation, then it removes the protect and service to the community that folks anticipate and need. So we think that that's important. And wherever we can find a way to make an improvement, then we're committed to doing that. And I think that that is an example that within a month of getting the research, understanding that issue, and when we're asking citizens to work within the law to be compliant, then we need our courts and government to do the same. They have to be accountable to that same standard at least. But we believe that there's a higher standard for service in that way. And so we'll push that because it's important that everyone do the best that they can.
You're from Ferguson, is that correct? From the Ferguson area?
I'm a North County girl. I grew up in Normandy and I currently live in Ferguson, yes.
So is there enough Ferguson representation on the Ferguson Commission, or does that even matter? I've just heard that at a few meetings when people have said that there are not enough people who are actually from Ferguson.
Well, go ahead, Regina.
I was just going to say, and we didn't hear that a lot. I think what hurts us is that the name Ferguson Commission. Even though we are working on issues after the unrest of Michael Brown, we also want to work on issues that affect Michael Brown, but also affect the Michael Browns that are in the city, affect the Michael Browns that are in the south side of the city, the people that are being affected on an everyday basis. So the commission is named Ferguson, but it's not just working on Ferguson issues, because the issues that happened in Ferguson is the issues that young people like myself see on an everyday basis. It just happened to play out differently in the unrest of Michael Brown.
You're the youngest member on the commission. Are they listening to young people?
They are. I was definitely hesitant at the beginning of joining, not necessarily due to the commissioners, but due to other reasons. But
Were you skeptical?
Definitely due to maybe the governor who had set it up, and I know the relationship between the young people and the governor. But the thing is, this is a very independent commission, and the people on this commission are independent. And the ones who are on this commission, the time that I had to spend with them, they really do want to see change. They really do care about the young people. They understand that we are the next generation, and we need to change these issues now, because if we don't, we can't have another Michael Brown. We can't have another young man or woman feel like that their life is not as equal as someone else. We have to create some action now, and it has to stop.
So Ferguson Commission, some people might look at it and think it's a little anti-police. Is that do you get that vibe at all?
I don't. I just, I mean, I think it's anti-bullying. I think it's anti-negative action from police. But everyone knows that we need a great police department. We need great police. And we've got to make some changes. And I think the Director Isom is on the commission, and he's leading up that task force.
Former St. Louis police chief.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I think all of the police chiefs that we've been in some discussion with, they understand that some changes have to be made. And this idea of representative policing and community policing, we've got to find our way back to that. As Felicia said, the police have got a really tough job when it comes to crime, but we've got to figure out how we're working together on these issues, and it can't be the citizens against the police. So no, I don't think it's anti-police. I think it's maybe anti-police not being there for the community, or policing that is not really for the citizens. I think that's what it's anti.
And I serve on that subcommittee with Director Isom, and we have representation on that committee from the various places and spaces where policing policy, training, are where those decisions are made. And so they're working with us. This is a collaborative effort. We don't want to, what we want to do is bridge the gap and to figure out a way that police can return to this needed profession in an honorable way where the community feels safe and served, and police officers are able to do the job that I believe they want to do. Police officers don't want to meet a revenue goal. It really isn't how they want to operate as police officers. They've told us that. So I don't think that we have a conflict with policing in that arena.
Rasheen may have been skeptical when he joined on. A lot of people kind of rolled their eyes and thought that, oh, we've commissions, blue ribbons, all kinds of things. This is just the governor placating folks. But you're talking about the hours you're putting in. I'm curious about just your experience so far, maybe the relationships that are forming on that commission, or just some of the, what drives you to put that kind of time into this? Are you optimistic that this is that real results can come from the Ferguson Commission?
Absolutely. I have no doubt about it. The makeup of the commission makes me confident that everyone is committed to this work.
Racially, the makeup, the age range?
The understanding, the wisdom of the individuals that make up the body, their experience, their professional, the places where they are professionally, the work that they've done, their understanding and commitment to St. Louis as a region, the willingness. There's a lot of expertise around that table, a lot of expertise around that table. And it's a very diverse group. And I believe that a diverse group is the best problem-solving group. So we've got a broad range of perspectives around the table that help inform us. And we have great conversations and are building wonderful and trusted relationships with each other, understanding that we're all here to do this work on behalf of the community and meet the charge that we've been given.
We'll wrap in just a second, but before we do, we saw the co-chairs standing with the Attorney General talking about what we've talked about tonight with municipal court reform. Anything visible or anything concrete coming down the road here anytime soon from the Ferguson Commission? What's next for you guys?
Well, I think what's right on our plate right now is deep diving into some of these work groups. And so the policing that Felicia was talking about, certainly continuing to understand the municipal court. So we highlighted some of the concerns, but trying to unpack that whole thing and understand what it means, some of the conversation that was happening earlier. And then we've got to go into some of the issues around education and child well-being. So all of the kind of the subcommittees are now being set up. So that we can really do the deep dives. But I would just like to bridge for just a second. And so, yes, Rasheen is the youngest member on the commission, and it is a wonderful commissioner. But I think, as older folks we're working for the Rasheens, that we can really look in the recent youth summit. Boy, if we could have had that taped, every comment, every person made, every kid, it was just astounding. And I took a lot of notes, and the most common thing I heard 14 to 20-year-olds say is, we want to be the change. And I was not prepared literally for the level of accountability that they were willing to take for where they were. So I think if you ask us, is it going to change? It is, because it has to. And the commission is here because of the young people that protested for 150 plus days. It wouldn't have been here without their protests.